Imagine now that TikTok has come out and did what it did to social media, what the fuck is the next thing? All these new ones try to pop up and be like, we're 5-second videos.
Yeah.
We're 4-second videos.
I don't even think that's what TikTok did to change the game. What they did to change the game is they valued watch time over anything. Didn't matter clout, followers.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Immigrant Section. It's your boy Abbas Wahab saying thank you for tuning in, and thank you for all those people who came out to the Immigrant Section comedy tour thus far. I'm recording right now, right before the Toronto show, so I'm amped. Waterloo and Windsor. Thank you for coming out. That shit was sick. Now we got Toronto tonight, Montreal, Ottawa, and London coming up. Get those tickets at abbaswahab.com. And enough of all that. With me today in the studio, funny motherfucking comedian and content creator, killing it out there, and gave me the blueprint for how to do this whole tour thing, my guy Andrew Packer.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming out, man. You pulled up in the C43 AMG Patagonia. I'm like, damn, this tour is killing. You're like, no, it's my girl's parents' car, bro. Chill. I'm like, damn, bro.
Hey, man, they're supporting the cause. So.
Yeah. Are they supportive?
They're super supportive, surprisingly supportive. They're great. I got two sets of supportive parents, man.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. That's white privilege. That's fucking white privilege, man. No one will listen to me, bro. No one. But thank you for coming through, bro. I reach you. I respect big time. I appreciate you. I remember back in the day when we first used to like do shows and stuff. You were like an account manager, right?
Yeah,
what were you selling at the time?
I was selling coconut water.
Coconut water. I remember, bro. You would have like bulk outs. You'd be like designing the bulk outs and stuff like that.
Oh, man, I moved a lot of coconut water. I got a lot of bottles in hands. It was a lot of managing accounts, and then I was hooking so many comics up with free cases of coconut water.
Yo, I never got any coconut water from you,
dude,
prick.
It was offered for sure. I offered to everyone, man. Because at the end of that gig, they had like I had like a warehouse full of coconut water, and they're like, "Yeah, the company wants to just wrap it up." And I was like, "So what do I do with all this?" And they're like, figure it out. So I was asking comics. I'd be like, "Yo, you want some coconut water?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, sure." And they'd be thinking like a case. And I'd show up with like a whole fucking like those things like a cart,
dolly,
like a full dolly, full, and be like, "Oh, we got one more trip."
You were giving people cases,
man. Yeah.
So they didn't even care if you sold it. They just said, get rid of this.
Well,
shit.
part of my job was marketing at the first, which was just like get people to try it because it was at a time when.
You learned a lot from that role. Clearly, I can tell in everything you're doing now.
Dude,
that was your boot camp right there.
It was good because I was doing comedy at night and then I was doing that all day, every day. So learning how they do business and then doing comedy at the same time.
When did you stop doing like the kind of like admin kind of stuff during the day?
I stopped working like a job like that in, I guess it would have been March 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been almost 3 years now coming up.
Off of it?
Yeah.
No, life is just, it's interesting out here in the ether. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cool, huh?
Willing yourself forward into whatever comes your way and manifesting it all.
And you're killing it too, bro. I'm saying like straight up props to you. You're one of those guys who kind of got the lay of the land as far as how do we kick a tour off. These are all things that people don't realize. No one tells you this stuff. No one ever sets you aside and goes, this is how you do it, okay? You either like figure it out, trial and error, or someone kind of gives you some advice. Or in my case, I'm like, yo, these guys, they went out all over Canada. They figured out how to do it. And I asked you for advice and you kind of gave me a very comprehensive breakdown of like the approach. And I'm like, man, this is that's how you do it. Cause there's so many people out there right now that are like, they are holding back. They're like, I'll tell him how to do this. But if he knows this part, then I don't know. You know, no one told me that. So I'm not going to tell him that. Like this old, like I got haze, so I'm a haze. Like,
Yeah. No, I think a lot of it is like even if I give people this information, then they realize how much work it is, and that's when they're like, oh yeah, and then they kind of just drop the ball themselves. So it's like I can give you the information, but I only know the way I've done it, and the way I've done it has been incredibly taxing and extremely rewarding. But And it's just it's like an amount of work.
It's so much work.
Especially at the start when you have no connections with anybody and barely even a name too. Like that first part, man, it was so much cold calling, and now it's like it's getting easier, but it's still a lot of work every time.
Yeah, because you guys went out, you guys did press, you guys did this. So now you have like a track record, right? There's a paper trail to be like, this is what we've offered, this is what we've done, this is what we could bring. Because like we just did that Windsor show and it's fucking awesome. And the bar owner was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought like 10 people were gonna show up. And like I was not expecting much. And he's like, the next time you come in Windsor, please, we'll make sure that like they are fully committed to doing business with us in the future. And I'm like, fuck, this is what you'll get in every city that you do a good show. So that's kind of like what you build. You Johnny Appleseed things, like where you leave your trail of like, oh, those people, they pack a house out type of deal.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And sometimes bar owners all know each other in like certain areas too. So they all start talking and like it just kind of snowballs from there a little bit. In certain areas, we've gotten that benefit. And even bar owners, sometimes they got like 4 bars in different cities. And so, like Alberta is a crazy part of our country.
I know. Alberta's pure America, by the way.
Pure America?
Alberta is America. Like having lived in America and having gone to Alberta just recently for comedy, I'm like, this isn't. When you land in Alberta, there's a Chili's right there in the fucking airport. Like,
yeah, I can see that. I mean, America doesn't have Canadian flags tied to hockey sticks on the back of every truck, but
yeah, but they have American flags tied to regular whatever American sticks.
Yeah,
you know
but
what
we
I mean?
do it our Canada way. I'm just saying, a lot of Albertans, I think, would take offense to be calling America.
But they've got big flags on the back of their pickup trucks,
For
which
Canada.
Exactly.
It's for Canada.
But how American is that?
Not for
though?
America. It's for Canada.
Half of those trucks had also like a smaller American flag. They're like, we're cool with you guys too.
Yeah. I'm not saying that there's no similarity, but yeah.
But there's a lot of, they drink a lot and they fucking, it's like a very like workers type of province.
Yeah.
So they love entertainment. They're thirsty for entertainment.
Did you like lived in America? Did you ever live in a place like Alberta in America?
I didn't live in Tennessee, but I went to work to Tennessee all the time. Like you were saying, your coconut water.
Yeah.
My company, we made fuel tanks for cars.
Okay.
Plastic fuel tanks. So the plant was right outside Nashville, Tennessee, Gallatin, Tennessee. So I'd be in Nashville all the time. And Nashville is very like Toronto. But
Okay.
Tennessee is very like Alberta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tennessee fucking Confederate flags and American flags all the time. No convoy needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just flags. Have you ever been next to a truck that has such a big flag on it that all you feel is like the dissipation of fuel? Like you're like, there is a cost of gas for just having this flag.
But it's for my country.
Yeah.
Ain't no
You're like,
price for my country.
holy fuck, sounds like a jet engine taking off, this flag, man.
Yeah.
Huge flags. That's like pure I love that vibe. I love that vibe, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, it's passionate. I love it. And Alberta is one of my favorite places in our country. It's the place I've toured more than any other place in Canada, mostly for COVID circumstantial
But
reasons.
what's your favorite part? Like if you gotta put into words.
My favorite part in Alberta?
No, not like what's your favorite thing Alberta? Why? Why is Alberta your favorite?
I mean, I love it just because they don't close down for fuck all. Like I feel
don't
like
care.
there could be a meteor on its way, and half of them would be like, yeah, it's probably bullshit, and just show up to a show anyway.
I love that shit.
They're the most loyal or like reliable comedy audience.
Really?
Yeah, they show up. They fucking want to do shit. They have money and they're ready to spend it on entertainment.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's the sense. I didn't even run my own shows. I just headlined a couple of shows out there. Always packed out. Everyone's fucking there to have fun. It's a blast. Mm-hmm. It was a blast. And I can't wait to take this thing out there to the west and to the east and just have some fun with it. But in the meantime, are you states bound? Are you going southbound? Is Canada kicking you out of here with their glass ceiling, Andrew? Tell me, Andrew. Are you working on a visa right now,
I do not
Andrew?
want to turn this into one of those shit on the industry conversations. But,
Oh, we're man, fuck you.
I mean, it's the way I see the playing field is that like it's like if North America were a gym, which like we go to different rooms to work on our comedy skills. So if North America were a gym, Canada is a squat rack. You could do everything you need to do to be really strong on the squat rack, but you can work on a lot of different things and improve and be more well-rounded comedian if you use the entire gym. and do the whole thing.
So by that, are you including Mexico, or are you just saying America?
Yo,
Canada?
anywhere. I mean, you could get Mexico in there
I was
too.
saying you
but
said North America, baby.
I do. I'm sure Mexico City's got some English comedy games. I'm not looking at learning Spanish to do stand up.
Yeah.
But it could be.
You'll be in Cancun. It'll be English only, dude.
Yeah. But no, I just see like drop the nationalism out of it. It's just a fucking plane of like there's just population, and just you got to go to different places, work on your act. So eventually I'll be able to get my states thing, but it is so fucking challenging.
Oh, it is. I'm telling people, like, a lot of Canadian comedians, the way I look at it is that's the grand stage. If you're a gladiator and you have been training, you got to go to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Right? Which Coliseum is essentially New York or LA. New York more so for comedy. Obviously, we know this, but like that's the Coliseum. That is the platform where the best come to sharpen their swords, so to speak, right?
Totally.
So I'm amped to make my way down there as soon as I can make my way down there. But man, comics out here, they're getting jaded. Up here, they're like, man, it's like fucking 10 grand, man. Fuck it, it's like 10 grand. And the way I look at it, I'm like, bro, if life is like a game, which life has a game-like quality to it, right?
Yeah.
The way I look at it is it costs 10,000 coins to unlock America. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, both of us from a business background. You look at $10,000 as a business expense is a totally reasonable amount of money
To facilitate your growth and
sure,
everything.
Yeah, it's not fair that we have to. And
It's
they
bullshit.
Don't have to.
It's
but
bullshit.
If that's the barrier to entry, it's not that. It's not
I know.
unattainable.
Exactly. It's not like I have 10 right now. I'll be like, here, take it, 10. That's nothing. But it's like, if that's the only thing that separates me from the grand stage and the ability to go and do that, and I already was in America for 3 years on an engineer's visa. Mm-hmm. Doing it proper, kind of doing exactly what you were doing. That's why I was able to put this shit together, because I was like, that's how you do it? Okay, let's go. Emails. I mastered this.
Yeah.
Email, calls. Let's go. What's going on?
That job you hated, it actually had some skills that you can apply.
A ton, apparently. It's just like you said, you give people the map and they're like, oh, fuck this shit, This terrain is hazardous as fuck. It's like, I have to do how much work?
Yeah.
It's nonstop, but dude, it feels so good when you do all that shit and they come out.
Oh, when it comes together, man, it's like that's the best. That got me through January, because January was like a fucking everything's locked down again. The whole world stopped again, but only Canada actually. And you're
right.
And so I was like, you know what? Who's not going to shut down? Alberta's not going to shut down. And I worked so hard the entire month of January, and then I was on tour all of February.
Fuck yes, I love it.
It was great.
I love it when people come. This venue we went to, it's upstairs. So we're sitting there, and like a couple like white couples came very early, and we're like, where's everybody else? Type of thing, you know what I mean? And then finally the door opened. You hear the steps on the stairs coming up, and then it's just a flow of people. The steps, and every like 10 people, we just go up to each other like 10 more people, seat them. Bring the tables in closer. Like we came, the venue had these tables all spread out. We're like, oh, guys, no. Bring this way closer to the stage. Bring another table here. Tighten all of this.
Yeah.
And then just packed everybody into there. Brought everyone right to the front and packed it towards the back.
Nice.
We weren't like, go sit wherever you want. We're like, you're sitting here, and we're gonna pack it towards the back. And man, once they were seated, we did the fucking music control. It feels so good once it comes down to like, yo, we just got to give them the funny now,
Yeah.
There's so much work, but yo, right now, there's just the funny. And that's the best feeling.
And everything's set up properly the way you want to do it. That's the best part, man. Every time we walk into a gig, it's like, okay, there's like a million things that need to change, but we get to do it. It's not like that. Here's your gig sheet. You show up and you're like, well, I guess this is going to be a shit gig.
Exactly.
I guess it's going to suck tonight. It's going to be one of those ones where it feels like work. Nah.
No, we're in control.
Yeah.
And you got to get both things, right? You got to work with the industry and kind of carve your own path in the meantime. There's really no one way to do it, just one or the other. Like they're not mutually exclusive. But fucking just setting it up yourself, even though it's so much more work, God, it feels so much better.
You get so much better at it too, to the point where it's not laboring, like your mental energy doesn't feel like it's being drained by all these little things. Like the first time I had to set up a camera myself and try to figure out how like take the right angle and even just like how to get the right settings and everything. My whole mind is thinking about that. I'm like, I want to be thinking about my set or whatever. Now it's completely mindless. It's just something that just happens. It's like taking a shower. Like I can think about whatever I want while my arms are just like putting
autopilot.
it together. Autopilot.
Same here, yeah, man. I'm literally just like, okay, ISO, drop the ISO. I had it set higher up because I was at a dark show. Bring it back to 1600 for the show. Start, format the card, the mic adjustment, bring it back up, record. Oh, hello, welcome back. Like I've done like episode 150. Like we are in the zone now, you know? That's a fucking good feeling. And on that note, dude, you have stepped up your content creation game.
Yeah,
big time.
I've just been trying to figure out how to create more and make stuff that I have fun making, and that's been a challenge. But I'm lucky. I've got some people around me that inspire me.
I doing mad stuff, collabs with Nima. That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
The GOAT, the social GOAT. Shout out to Nima Naz.
Yeah.
Yo, oh man, Nima got called out on flagrant too. How sick was that?
So
Yo,
Gary V called him, and I quote, a fucking beast.
dude, that was the best because the
So
first
good.
one, they're like, "Is this the best guy? Is this the best guy?" He's like, "It's a fucking beast." And they watched the full video. They laughed at every like punch that he had.
Yeah.
And they were just like, "Yeah, dude." I was like so fucking happy for the guy, man. I was
Man,
like, "Yes."
It's been beautiful watching him flesh that impression out, adding all the different components to it. Like he did the nail
fingernail
biting
thing?
thing.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was the first guy to do that. The way he moves his hand now, I cannot watch a Gary V video and not see Nima in the process. It's like
he mastered it.
Yeah, like Nima's doing all of the little components to it. And it's so funny.
Nima's on a next level. What's it like even working with this guy? Like,
It's mad productive, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
so
can
nice.
imagine.
Because we like when I know that I'm working with him, I'm like, okay, like from like a month out when we have it planned, I'm like, okay, I'm working with Nima. Like Nima's built a world, and I go, okay,
and he's got a team too.
yeah, and but I mean like a world of like the different characters and
Yeah,
content
absolutely,
formats.
absolutely, yeah.
And so when I'm writing for it, I'm just like writing off of like what can I do with the Persian character? What can I do with Gary V? What can I do with every single like guy he's got? And then we have a meeting the week before on a call just to discuss different ideas, see which ones we're vibing with. And then when we show up like at the house, man, like it's crazy. We can shoot like 6 TikToks and 4 sketches all in like 5-6 hours, and it's just like then editing after that. But
It's dense, but you guys don't edit on site. You guys like
no, it's
after the
all
fact.
like when we're together, it's
Yeah.
all about just
Just a shoot.
creating. We're writing some of the sketches we'll improvise, some that we just chat it out and then shoot it. And that though, man, think about Nima. That's like so incredible. Not only is he like super talented and funny, but he is the best at just like simplifying the execution of an idea. I can overcomplicate a lot. I'm like, if we do the green screen, we got to have this effect.
He's like,
And then-
no,
And then
no,
he'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
like, no, you shoot me, you shoot that. I'll shoot you. We'll just go bing, bang, boom. And like, it's always like much. He's got a very streamlined way of putting ideas together into formation. And
Oh, I love it,
It's
yeah.
it's super fun and yeah. It's
He's been doing it for years, and
Yeah.
it's just like acting. It's just like stand up. It's just like anything you do for fucking years. There's just a fluidity to it where it's just like, whoa. It's like you were talking about with cameras. It's like this guy's in the zone. Anytime he comes, does the podcast, he's like, we got to shoot 2 things. Like for me to justify coming and doing a podcast with you, we got to do 2 we got to do the podcast and then shoot like 2 ideas at least.
Yeah.
At least, you know? Because I'm like, Nima's on density. And then right after, he's got like 2 podcasts lined up. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
guy does not.
And
he's
the
like-
whole time he's doing all that, he's shooting a vlog.
I know, right?
it's
I'm
like,
like,
it's all
Jesus Christ.
layered on top of itself. It's great.
But he's unstoppable. He's like a juggernaut, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty exciting to see what the world, what guys like him and other like killers in the scene, what will become of kind of like their comedic career in the decades
Oh, yeah.
to come. They're going to be the names.
So exciting. Yeah. I mean, it's content is definitely one avenue, and it seems to be like there's a few guys rising up through the ranks through it, and it's really what I love about it is that it feels like I have autonomy over my future to more degree than like when I'm like shooting like self tapes or like relying on
You're like
other people
waiting
to
on
give
an
me-
email.
Like it's just like building out the tour was like something I just took upon myself, started doing, and like boom, now I can go headline. I'm going to go headline Absolute. That
Yo,
would've-
congrats on
Yeah,
that, by the way.
thanks,
My
buddy.
man, headline his
Yeah.
first weekend dates official Absolute Comedy Club. Toronto
and Ottawa, yeah,
and Ottawa.
both of
Check
them.
my man out.
Yeah, so that would have never happened if I hadn't like rented the club out my first time doing it, run the tour through it, and then now it's like this, and then running the tours and stuff. So with content, it just feels like everyone's got this camera, and it's like that Gary V rant. It's
yeah.
this class. So just shoot
do it.
yourself.
Yeah.
Just shoot yourself. So, but like it feels like I have autonomy. I can be like, here's like my ideas on this, and pump it out a certain amount of content every single day. And the best part about it, one thing that helped me change my thinking on it, because a lot of people feel cringe looking at themselves all the time, and, like all that stuff. But when you put something out on social media and it bombs, no one sees it, no one saw it.
Exactly.
So it's not like bombing in front of like a group of people
where they are looking
where
at you.
everyone's looking at you. It's
And they're not
literally like
laughing,
no
yeah.
one saw it. It bombed, and then so that like freed me up a little bit just mentally and just to put out as much as you can, because like when it comes down to it, really the quality judgment's up to the people, not really yourself.
Yeah. I've had this conversation with a lot of other people where it's like you'll have an idea, you'll be like, yo, I'm gonna kill him with this one. Bombs. And then a fucking side idea is the thing that resonates with the world. You know? You're like, what the
People
fuck?
are like, yo, that idea, and you're like,
You're like, I just fucking was watching a thing and I was like, what if I did this?
Yeah.
And then that's the one. And you're like the one that you're like, I can't. You're like post it and you're like looking at notifications. You're like, what? There has to be a mistake.
I don't honestly. I can name at least like 5 different times where I almost deleted a TikTok that actually ended up doing over 1 million, and it like blows my mind. I'm like, but like obviously there's the odd time where I'm nailing it right, but like then there's the odd time where I'm like, that one? Like how is it that one?
How? Yeah.
And you just kind of roll with it, keep making.
It's crazy, dude. It really is crazy. It's a mind game. And you're right with the bombs, because I used to also want to like delete them. Like I was like, fuck, I don't want a bad performance one to be in the feed or to be in my portfolio, we'll say. But then I'm like, fuck it, dude. I have hundreds. Do all of them have to be great? Does every one of them, like, is every one of my bits a closer? Fuck no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like there has to be a range. There has to be this video that really differentiates and shows that this video is fucking amazing. It's not like, let me just delete everyone, erase all the mistakes, right? It's like you're not really doing yourself any favors.
Yeah. We're getting to a point where with content and like what's out there available for entertainment, it's to a point where it's like you'll only be able to see the stuff that is wanting, like that the most people want to see. Like, but it's for someone to actually go through all your stuff and I find like the depths of everything that you've made. If you're just burying the shit with the good.
Yeah. That's what.
So,
just drop another one. If it was bad, that's a push to put out another one ASAP. If anything,
there you go.
Rather than delete it, you know. Mm-hmm. But what's going on? What are you focusing on these days, man?
Right now, I mean, I set a goal at the beginning of the year. I want to break.
I want to take over the world.
I want to. And then Putin got going. I was like,
Yeah,
come
it's like,
on,
fuck.
that was my thing.
Shit.
What the fuck? No, I set a goal at the beginning of the year, like amongst a bunch of other goals, but I wanted to get over 1 million on TikTok.
Yeah.
So that's one of my working goals that I'm just striving for, which is
Fucking
good because
right,
at the beginning of the year I was at like 56,000 followers.
What are you at now?
Like 540. Yeah, which is a nice growth.
Fucking
exciting,
right, bro. Are you stitching a lot?
I'm doing a lot of reaction videos.
Yeah.
And I've decided on an audience basically.
Is that what you is that how it goes?
Like
you got to decide?
Well, I mean it wasn't completely intentional, but once I caught like a hook, I was like, oh, okay.
Is it Man News?
Exactly,
Yeah.
Man News. And so now my following is 91% men.
Yeah.
And like, yo, ladies, I mean, by all means, it's
Yeah.
for you too. You are a woman, okay?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can totally join too. But yeah, right now it's the dudes and a lot of stuff that make dudes like just basically go primal.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
the
So
vibe.
it's like, what was it called? What was that one? Spike TV? You're
Yeah.
such a TikTok
Yo,
Spike
I
TV.
love Spike TV.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go,
yeah.
dude. You're doing Spike
Man,
TV TikTok
yeah, I've been
content.
referencing Spike TV in a few of my videos that have like reminded me of it. Because there was this really good video of a squirrel trying to catch this like this treat, and this person had designed this like obstacle course for it. And I was like, oh, this is exactly like MXC. Did you ever watch MXC?
No, what's
Oh
that?
my God, MXC was the best show.
What was it? Is that the Japanese?
It was like Wipeout or like Ninja Warrior, what they have
Okay,
today.
okay, yeah.
But it was it was like Japanese, And
Wait, was it Japanese?
It was dubbed over. I'm pretty sure it was Japanese. I'm like 99% sure I would go with Japanese if I'm
Because I think
guess.
they're like in shitty vehicles and they fall in water and shit.
They have all different types of courses. Some of them were like the whole show was dubbed over by American like comedians. So they were just making jokes the entire time, and even the names of the obstacle courses they would make fun of. Like it was always like some like really like baseline. Like it would be like sinkers and floaters, stuff like that, where like and it's all these rocks and they have to run across it, but some of the rocks
dude,
fall
I
and
grew up on that
would
shit.
eat it. That's what I'm saying.
I
was
love
like, how
that
did you
shit.
not even remember?
No, I don't remember the name of it.
And every time they would,
I watched the original ones with like subtitles.
oh okay.
Because it was like,
Yeah, these ones were always like really like ridiculous voices, and when they come up and they always like say their name or whatever.
Yeah.
they would always
What is
like,
your con?
they would always say something really like absurd, like it'd be like, I never knew my father, and then it'd be like, and then they go into it, and it's just like all these jokes like that. There was one where they would drop a ball from very up high, and the person would have a bucket, and it would be all this mud, and they'd have to run trying to catch the ball from wherever it falls, and then they would have to dive and hopefully catch the ball, but either way they get a face full of mud. Oh man, love that stuff.
Was that on Spike?
Was
So
on
they
Spike
got the
TV.
rights and they did that whole
Yeah.
thing?
Oh, brilliant idea. Probably such an inexpensive show to make.
Yeah. Do you remember any comic voices? Like,
I don't know specifically who they would have been. I was way too young to like even to maybe like it would not have been anybody like notable in stand up. It would have been somebody hustling and trying to just make a name
Gotcha.
for
I
themselves.
thought it would have been like the like Dave Attell or like some New York comics, like they just
maybe it would be interesting to find that out, but I'm not sure off the top of my
fucking
head.
jokes. And that shit all came to it. Like Spike TV, does anybody is that channel network still exist?
I don't think it is.
TV is just a different thing now, huh?
Yeah.
You were talking about self tapes. Are
Yeah.
you doing the acting thing? Are you also flexing that muscle on the side?
I mean, anything my agents get me, I do. And then as far as booking things, you got nothing.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing coming out, okay? Don't expect it. There's nothing even in the works.
yeah.
Dude. I like sometimes things come up, but I mean, the thing is, I'm not like actively being like, I will be an actor and this is the craft that I'm going to do. I'm trying. No, I would love to do it in order to propel my name and presence in the
The
entertainment
package
industry.
of what you are.
Yeah, but and I have a profound respect for people who are acting and actually like develop these characters that are completely outside of their own wheelhouse of their actual character, and like the subtlety to it is incredible.
But here comes the destruction. But that being said,
that being said, no, I mean
they're fucking losers.
my focus is stand up and just all things comedy. So
Like you want to get signed with All Things Comedy?
exactly. No, that'd be dope. Do
yeah.
they sign people? I don't even know.
I think it
Do my
literally is
album,
signing.
All Things Comedy, and I'm also working on putting together a comedy album too. Like
I want to put that together in AP this year.
Nice,
fucking
man.
right. Get on that sound
Sick.
exchange, dude.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
man.
Dude, I've been putting it off for so long, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think I'm at a place where I have material that I would actually like to like time capsule for like a time in my life. But it's nuts when you start hearing about the money people are making. I'm like, oh, this is like actually a thing of value that I need to put out, because I think I could put out a really fun one, really good one.
The way I'm looking at it is like, the problem with Canadians is like, let's say you put the money together to get a US visa, then you fucking land in New York, and then it's like, okay, how am I paying my rent? You know? I was just touring around Canada, right? I figured that out, but now I'm here. I'm trying to get I'm footing in this scene before I run out and try to do shows here and there, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, how do you actually support yourself? And the key to that is with albums, dude. One fucking shout out to my man Keith Pedro. He set me aside one time and he was just like, he's had a bunch of albums out, and he's just like, dude, like, put out an EP, man. Like, get on Sound Exchange, dude. Like, this is the way for you to actually get some money from, like, passive money from what you have built comedically. Mm-hmm. And nobody has ever said that to me. You know what I mean? I was always had in my hand. I was like, oh, I can't, until I hit the 10-year mark, I can't release anything. This is something I went in with. An arbitrary number I set in 2016. You know what I mean? 10 years. And then now it's like, more than anything, it's like you said, I want a time capsule, but more than anything, I want to put all my bangers, everything that I've been doing, leaning on, put it there just to force me to start new stuff, because A lot of this stuff, half of it, I'm fucking sick of.
Yeah,
I'm sick of, and I just want to force myself to be like, that's out. Even though these people probably never heard it, I'm gonna assume they heard it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring them the new B stuff. That's gonna hopefully I'll make A stuff eventually.
100%. Yeah. For me, it was always I was like, who's listening to albums? Like I didn't know anyone was because honestly, like I don't know, none of my friends are like
I didn't grow up on
listening
it at
to albums on Spotify or anything. A lot of people don't even know you can listen to a comedy album on Spotify. And so I didn't even know people were listening. But now, like after hearing about the network of radio stations throughout the
Sirius XM,
the States,
America.
Then it's like, oh, okay, there is a market for it. Like I didn't even know that for a long time.
And I was talking to Noor Kidwai, he's another comedian out here. He's like, one bit. It's track by track, so like bit by bit. And he's like, yeah, one bit will just. He's got like this. He's got this one bit about Generation X or some shit, like Gen Zs or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, that one just fucking took off. Like sometimes one will just take off. And like all of the fucking traffic revenue you're getting is just off one bit that killed. No one fucks with anything else on your album. Well, I'm not saying this is the case with him, but he was like, you'll see one takes off. And then 6 months, nothing. And this other one suddenly takes off. So it's like you don't even understand what exactly is happening out there. You just trail back and kind of look at what's being played in the analytics. And that is fucking interesting to me. Like I want to put my 90-second minimum to a track, 30 minutes at least for an EP. You put, 10 bits or whatever the fuck. I'm excited to just put that out and just be like, what do people fuck with the most?
Is that the rule? You have to be 90 seconds?
90-second minimum for a track. That's what he told me. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, and he said... okay, so this is good to know too. You'll probably appreciate this. Keep your track short because every time, if you can have your track up to like 5 minutes, but if you have a 5-minute bit, divide it into track 1, track 2. Because every time someone is on Sirius XM listening to your bit and they change Sirius XM, this is registered as a loss event for them.
Interesting.
Longer tracks have longer loss events, and that makes them not play you as much.
Wow.
So keep your tracks 90 seconds to like 2.5 minutes max type of deal.
True.
Yeah, so I'm like,
That's
thank
good
you, brother. I'm like, dude, that...
most of my shit is in that realm anyway. I have the odd story that builds out, but yeah, that's helpful to
Exactly.
know.
It's like, you got to piece together this, it's like lore. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things, like when I got into acting, there's a book called Audition. There's 1,000 books on acting. There's fucking content creation is the new stand-up in the sense that it's just the Wild West, right?
Yeah.
But like stand-up, it's like that shit's been around for like 6, 7, 8 decades. And there's like a couple books on how to write a joke and how to this and stories from the road. But there's no like, especially for Canadians. And I'm like, this is something like in my career I'd actually love to do. Would actually sit with some other comedians and be like, put together like a 50-page thing of like, truly, this is how I would approach this if I were getting into this now.
Yeah.
Because I could already put 10 pages in that right now, just with what I've seen. And there's nothing out there like that. They're like, a setup is like this, right? This is a setup, all right? You got to lead them this way. And with the punch, swoop, you cut the head off. And like, this is what's out there. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's not... There's nothing about, okay, this is the deal with doing comedy on cruise lines. This is the deal with festivals. This is the deal with visas. This is the deal with this. And keep in mind, this is timed in, 2035. So obviously this will change or whatever the fuck. But like, actually put this stuff out there because nobody gives a fuck to,
Yeah. I mean, you could argue, just for the sake of argument, that like, if you want to find it, you can find it. It's just more challenging that way, in like the sense like people, you can grab the information. It would be nice to have the playbook set out for you.
It wouldn't even be a playbook. It would just be a reference book.
Yeah,
because there's really almost no the playbook
it's
for comedies get on stage.
Yeah, just figuring out like how do you apply that is really the key difference.
And by that point, dude, imagine now that TikTok has come out and did what it did to social media. What the fuck is the next thing? All these new ones try to pop up and be like, we're 5-second videos. We're 4-second videos.
Well, I don't even think that's what TikTok did to change the game. What they did to change the game is they valued watch time over anything. So it didn't matter your clout, didn't matter followers, didn't matter anything. Nothing matter except how often or for what
How long are they watching it?
what percentage of that video did people watch? And then like lower in the ranks was like, did they like it? Did they interact with it? Did they save it? Did they share it? But mainly, that's the game changer that really that let them skyrocket because it leveled the playing field.
Yeah, like you could open up the app as some random person and create a video that gets seen just as many times as Kim Kardashian, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, Joel Edmundson, another very funny comic in the
Shout
scene.
out to Joel.
I love seeing people's approaches to using these apps, and his was so different and just great. He took this video of his cat in a bathtub and then narrated on the back of it, just be like, "Hey, it's my cat." And he's like, it was very authentic. And then he like posted it. It was like his first TikTok. And then the next time he opened the app, it had over 1 million views.
Yeah.
He's got
like 10,000 followers.
He's at like 140 now because he's put out like 4 of those videos. The guy's got like 6 videos out. And he's got like 140,000 followers.
They're all the cat videos.
Because they're like, "Yo, we love your cat." And then he's got like in his like whatever link you put there.
Yeah.
He has his Amazon wish list for different cat items that like toys that cats can play with. So it's just like such a silly way to like interact with your audience. Like, hey, do you want to feed the content that's gonna come out next by buying a toy for my cat?
That's so fucking
so
funny.
silly, and
I love that. I love that. I'm just for me, I'd be like, do you ever see his face in the videos, or is it just his?
I think one of the videos, I think you see his face.
Because like whatever I do, I have a thing in deep down where it's like I'm doing this thing so someone one day they see me on a marquee or a thing and they go, "Oh, that guy, let's go live." That's all of this is for that.
Yeah.
You come see me live. Mm-hmm. That's what this is all for. You know what I mean? No shit talking to Joel at all. Like he'll probably end up murdering that whole profile, and that's one of the places that type of shit can fucking kill it. But I'd be like, fuck, how do I get in my face with this cat? I'd be like narrating with the cat. Remember me? I do stand up. Oh, meow, meow, meow. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I do stand up. Meow, meow, meow.
He'll probably figure out a way to pivot it and everything. But that's the view I have on content as well. It's like there's something that happens, and people noticed it when we went from just audio to like having TV and having movies and stuff. But like if people see you on a screen, especially every single day they see you on a screen, then when they see you in real life, this weird thing happens. And I watch it happen with Che all the time. Shout out to Che Arena.
He's been on the pod a couple times.
Okay,
yeah.
Sick. Yeah. So I see it happen. We go to dinky ass small towns. People's minds melt when they see him because they're like, "This is the guy that talks about buttholes online." Like,
I love it, dude. And I've tasted a little bit of that just in Waterloo, where on our way to setting up, we went to Step Shawarma, and I guess Waterloo's got a lot of like kids who fuck with my TikTok. They're like, one guy goes, "Yo, you're on TikTok?" And then I'm with Jesse and Mo. I'm like, "Yeah."
Nice,
and then they're all like, "Yeah." They all like are freaking out. And I'm like, and then we just go in and show them a joint, just get in line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like, "Yeah, yo, keep following." Just fucking get in line right after that. It's so weird. The emotional roller coasters you go through sometimes.
Totally, yeah. I had that for the first time I got recognized like last week. I went out to a bar. I went to the bartender. I was like
Mad News.
He was like, "You're the ice guy. You're the ice guy." Because I have these videos of like every time there's an ice video, I react off of it because like my followers fucking love it.
They love ice?
So like breaking ice.
Oh, gotcha.
Throwing ice off of a bridge.
Gotcha.
Taking a very nice piece of ice and just dropping it eloquently. Like I am a fucking aficionado of ice videos. I know every nuance to the break, to the sound chosen, to whether the sound was edited or if it was actually a sound that was from the original video, or was that the sound from Minecraft, which I have become attuned to. Okay?
They have a crazy iceberg or
yeah,
ice
there's
sound?
an ice breaking sound in Minecraft that dudes find super satisfying. So what will happen is an ice video will come out and then the original sound will be there, but someone else will comment, be like, "Do the Minecraft sound," and then they'll make another video editing the Minecraft sound in, and then everyone goes, "Yo, he did it!"
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of that's a good little corner of my content.
So like if you like saw like a big glacier did something, you'd be like, "Oh fuck!" Like Like some big glacier in Antarctica broke, a huge glacier. You're like, I'm on this type of shit.
I mean, it helps if it's like a man that pushed it, you know.
Oh,
like
if humans are involved.
Oh yeah, if it definitely it's something that like it's tapping into that manly like, impulse
shit, yeah.
of like just throwing a stick and seeing it break. You know?
Okay.
Like that's
a big rock high up into water.
Essence.
That's my favorite.
Exactly. Oh yeah,
You're
that's
like,
good
fuck,
too.
fuck.
Yeah. I love those ones too. Yeah, anything that's satisfying, that satisfies your manhood. That's and I stay away from thirst traps. No thirst traps.
Yeah,
that's not my corner.
That's so funny. It's like you gotta know what it is, huh?
Yeah.
What has Nima like bestowed upon you? Like his approach. Are you trying to build like a world now at this point? Like you're saying a corner of my shit.
Yeah.
So you're like the ice is in the corner.
Yeah, like it's more like just pivoting forward and I think mainly it's just keeping it fun. What I drew from Che and Nima is like this push to just kind of make stuff a lot and make a lot of it and figure out something that you can make anywhere too. Like the great thing about Man News that I came like together with is that
like I need a blazer.
Well, that's the thing. I have to travel with a blazer now.
No, you just gotta go to Valley Village and get a new shitty blazer. Toss it, bro.
No, I've been traveling.
Go to the bathroom, put it on. Go to the bathroom. Yeah. All right, this just did.
Yeah. But no, when I was on tour, I literally just need a wall and a window, and I can shoot like Man News. So just having that ability to like make sure there's no hurdles that come up just because life changes around. That was huge. And then just figuring out how to like pivot and continue pushing it in different areas, because the birth of it was through. Were you aware of the trend that happened with Che at the beginning of the year? The Great War of 2022.
No.
Okay, this was a very TikTok specific thing, but it took over all the FYPs at one point, and basically.
That's For You page for all the older people.
Yeah, so
that's like
I'm
gonna
preface this with this is a warning. This is gonna go deep, okay?
Okay.
But you can come along with me.
Let's
okay,
do it.
so we've got there's a guy named the Vantlord. This is a creator out of South Africa who's considered to be the high god of the Council of Men. Okay, this is birthed out of the idea that there is a council that judges all things that are man related, as if like,
on TikTok,
on anywhere, like as in being a man. So if like some guy were to like release some secret about like him scratching his nuts and then smelling it, the council would speak to be like, call the council, and the council would be like, you're fucked up, man. Like don't give away our secrets. Like it's a big joke, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So anay, Che starts releasing these little secrets about men. It becomes like a type of content that he's making. One of them being it all started with how like when we put our hand in our pockets, sometimes we're just doing that so we can scratch our nuts or like adjust them.
Yeah.
And then so that spawned, and the Vantlord went like, he's gone rogue. He's like releasing our secrets. We need to come at him. And then Che went like, yo, I'm rogue. This is what I do. I like to destabilize everything. You guys aren't going to stop anything. And he released a whole bunch of other secrets, and then that sparked this whole debate of everyone calling on their creators to then choose a side between the rogue or the council.
Yeah.
And so like thousands of creators and thousands of videos were all coming out of this. I was like, cool, I'm gonna be the news that covers this, and I started Man News, and then that started to catch steam.
Did that kick off Man News?
That's how it kicked off.
Oh,
And it
shit.
was just like, then Man News was starting. I was following every creator that made a video. I would like come up with a whole bunch of jokes and put it in a newscasty way and start out of that. And then after that trend started to like fade, it got on ESPN, which was
no
fucking
way.
nuts. Yeah.
That's hilarious. What do they call it?
Well, Richard Jefferson, one of the commentators on ESPN, he's very he's very active on TikTok, and so during the ESPN breakdowns of games, he would like point out people falling and be like, see that? That's why he supports the rogue. That's what happens when you support the rogue and you support Che. And he literally said that on live TV, so everyone went like nuts. And
That's
crazy.
so crazy.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
So after that kind of moved forward, then I just kind of pivoted to other things.
Is this still going on, or did this end?
So it ended
Rogue
up,
versus council.
The council versus the rogue, and it's still on Discord. There's still like a community on Discord, which I'm not really familiar with that app, but it's like
it's talking.
Seems to be like,
my friends did. That's where they talk when they game. Discord.
Yeah, so it's like there's like this cult following of like 60,000 people that are like continuing to want to keep spurring that world along, but it ended up like just kind of moving through a phase like everything does on TikTok with trends.
Yeah.
So then I just pivoted to other stuff and found other stuff I liked reacting to for men, and then it continued to work. So, yeah.
Fuck, dude. TikTok is like, TikTok is a
Yo, you
fucking
can go
organism.
deep. Yeah. It's nuts.
Sometimes I go on that app, and I'm just like, it's so addictive. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's
Because
very
like what you are seeing is exactly what you want to see.
it's what your eyes get stuck on,
Yeah,
man. And
yeah.
I would get stuck on that, man. One of the most frustrating types of videos I would get stuck on is it's all chaos. No questions are answered, but all questions are coming forward. Like just a chaotic video of like you're seeing shit and you're just like you want to know what the solved thing is, but like it
like,
never.
what are you seeing? A puzzle? Are you seeing broken shit?
No, it would be like there'd be like a guy talking to the camera being like, "Oh man, what the fuck is that? I'm gonna like it looks like a fight's gonna break out," but then he falls backward into like a convertible car, and then a dude out of the trunk gets out and he's in full football uniform and starts doing this other weird like that's the kind of like nothing's
chaos,
connected. It's just chaos is happening, but like why is it all smoothly put together?
This is the shit that
That's
comes
the
on
shit
your-
because I can't help but be like, what's going on?
Dude. Sometimes I'll go on TikTok. I haven't been posting as much as I do. Now that I'm talking to you, I'm like, I gotta revamp my TikTok. I went hard during COVID originally.
Yeah.
Like, when COVID first hit, I went hard on TikTok. And then when we went back to stand up, I just kind of was like, that thing in me that was like, I just get on stage. But I'm like, now that I'm hearing all you guys, I'm like, fuck, I gotta get back on there. I gotta do my thing. But every time I want to post, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go on there. I'm gonna post something. Let's just see what's popping on TikTok. Right? I'll open up TikTok. I'll start going through my my little feed, and it'll be like 10 minutes later, and I'm just watching videos, and I'll stop at one point, like, what the fuck? I came on here to get an idea to spur my creativity.
Yeah.
I'm just watching shit now. I don't even know if I'm gonna post something. I'm just consuming now. Like, it's so addictive.
It's so hard to compartmentalize. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very challenging in that sense, for sure.
I don't open TikTok before, like, at night. I don't open TikTok. Like, if I'm on the couch, I will. But like, if I'm near bed, because I know it's just gonna be like, it'll never end. It'll never end. And then like once the point we go, okay, fuck, I gotta stop. Now I'm already wired. Like, it's not like I'm gonna crash now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I mean, one thing that's helped me with that, because I've experienced a ton of that, is just having like an idea of like the format that you can create, like creating like something that like Man News is my format and that's my baseline. So I know I can go and just like make a bunch of those and then do a couple trends and then get out, and just be like, there's my compartmentalized like creating time.
Yeah, I used to be good. I used to wake up during COVID, like first hit. I used to wake up every day. I had a rule. It was 5 ideas every day. I'd be writing. And my show was more like sketchy stuff.
Which takes way longer to shoot.
Takes
The
way longer to
whole
shoot.
idea is
It's
harder.
ideas, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of it did, and I gained traction and everything. And then once the stitches came out and reactions came out, pretty much what happened was TikTok really started to prioritize use of these things. So then your regular things weren't doing as well. They weren't being driven by the algorithm as much. So then I just started being like, fuck, I gotta do this to make it work. So fuck it. And then that drove me away from it. But then eventually I came to the idea, I'm like, okay, I mean, whatever the limitations they set, whatever it is you gotta do to play with the algorithm, I can make it work. I mean, if it really comes down to it, and I know go these paths and you get a big boost, I can make it work in those. Really was just a laziness thing because comedy came back.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't want to stitch everything. I didn't do that. Like,
when
just got
comedy
lazy.
came back for me, I dropped it.
I got lazy.
Like I did a lot during the pandemic, and then that like 6 months from like July all the way to December, I was like posting like once or twice, maybe a few times a week. But like, that's at max.
Yeah.
But when we locked down again, that's when I was like, well, fucking, I was supposed to go on a trip that got canceled because of COVID, and then that week is when I started to fucking figure shit out, and like things started like to spiral. But yeah, I mean, and it's like never ending either. Like, I mean, I'm at a place right now, but like I still have to think about like what's my next thing, what's the next
Once the
like,
shift
pivot?
happens,
What's the next shift happening? Where do I want to go with that? And then staying in like the idea of like, yo, let's just like, this is fun. Like, let's just be like, I'm sitting in boxers with a blazer on, doing my content for my news network that I'm continuing to build. We've got multiple characters here at the news network that I voice all of them, and it's just like silly and stupid, and it's fun to do. We've got the intern, we've got the weather guy who hasn't been around since he got in a fight with that anchor. They they brawled it out, big black eye, the whole thing. And then we've got the traffic guy too. We got a number of guys coming through, but mainly the producer. I mainly talk back and forth with the producer of the show.
Dude, you've gotten me pretty inspired. I think I may wipe the dust off my TikTok and.
Well, it's a game right now.
Approach.
Right now, for the creative playing field, the way I see it for growth and places to actually finagle the algorithms, you've got a competition between Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. YouTube's doing shorts, TikTok's doing TikTok, and Instagram's trying to figure out Reels.
Yeah.
So you've got those three, and they're all boosting the shit out of them, trying to figure out who's going to be able to keep eyes on the screen. And audiences, you will use one app for the most part. Most people use one app. If you're a YouTube person, you're an Instagram person, or you're a TikTok person. And so you can use your content and spread it out.
Oh,
everywhere.
I do that. Yeah.
So and it's just a matter of like just be everywhere.
I do that for this podcast. I do that very
Dude,
well.
You do incredible. I mean, I know how much work it goes into, like, especially editing a podcast like this.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing an incredible job.
I appreciate you, and it's got a little bit of a following on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. That I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing this thing, and that's good. But more so, like my personal TikTok and my personal creative efforts, I was in the zone once upon a time, and like all of these random people that do, every one of these random people that come up to me, like on the way to Windsor, we stop at Tim Hortons, and some Sudani guy's like, yo, you on TikTok? It's always TikTok every single time. It has never been, yo, you on Instagram? Have you seen you on YouTube? No, never. TikTok 100% of the time. And still deep down, I'm like, then I got to go do the 5 ideas a day and figure it out. But I think what I need to do is kind of do the approach that you were saying, that like Che and these guys are taking, which is like, find what is you and create a vehicle that just expresses that in a simple type of way.
Because like the first time you make content, you're just like, I'm gonna make something, or I'm a comedian, so I'm gonna write sketches. Like that's the most lateral, most like A to B thought of like what we're gonna go make, right? And sketches are super fun to make, but then you make them and they're incredibly time consuming. You gotta shoot them. The editing's extremely time consuming, and at the end of the day, you're really just trying to get that thing down to under a minute so that it's useful on all these different things. So there's that. But then like if you can make something like Che's, the best piece of advice from Che was like, how can you make, the way he approached his content before he had any following was he's like, I'm going to start using TikTok and I just want my content to be the easiest to make. I want it to be extremely easy
It's you.
to make.
It's just you.
Yeah.
It's just your flow of consciousness of you, and what people are gripping to is you.
Yeah, it's you and you're having fun. And then boom, bing, bang, boom. And then
Bing,
there's
bang,
like
boom.
a couple other things you can do, like the call to action at the end is
Yeah, I know
pretty huge. And then just figuring out how to hook and stuff. But mainly just having fun, reacting, having a good time.
I love it. Yo, before we end this podcast, I got to ask you about something. When you got trapped in like Southeast Asia, I just remembered that when you were, I forget what you were saying, how your trip got canceled. You got trapped. You were like abroad when shit went down. And I remember you're just like, I'm in Thailand doing a show, Bangkok. Like, I can't come home. I'm just doing shows. What the fuck happened? Where were you?
Yeah, so I was doing the tour through Southeast Asia that I just kind of like finagled, and I was in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand.
How was it, by the way?
Amazing, man. It was so cool to be in that part of the world. I had never been there.
I've never been to
before.
Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia is
Everyone
is
says
great.
Southeast Asia.
Oh man, it's very inexpensive, beautiful. The weather is
You do Vietnam?
Great. Yeah, Vietnam, one of my favorite places, and oh my god, it's so inexpensive to like.
I know.
The $4 for your hostel room, and it includes free beer for an hour in the evening. Like
Damn, they charge beer by the hour.
The happy hour is it means free beer, and you're like, haha, funny.
Yeah.
No, like literally free beer for an hour, like whatever.
At the end, yeah.
So you're living the hostel life and doing that whole thing. But yeah, Vietnam, like the views there, man. We went to did this thing called the Ha Giang Loop, which is they actually shot parts of King Kong throughout Vietnam. So like imagine that kind of misty, like
Yeah.
mountainous.
It's like the first Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's like wild, and you're just ripping on this semi-automatic scooter all over these like crazy spiraling mountains
Fuck
with
yeah.
mist, and oh man,
That's like where Top Gear and them go, isn't it? Or would it not fit a car?
probably. Yeah,
Would it fit a car?
Yeah, you could go with a smaller car.
Yeah.
But yeah, it literally looks like one of those racetracks where it's like winding,
hairpin
yeah,
turns,
there's crazy spins and stuff. But yeah, so the trip was incredible. We're going through. I left December 2019, and I was like 4 months into it. Went through Vietnam, flew to Manila in the Philippines, and then I went to 2 islands. And the first island was on the west coast, and then I flew over to Siargao, the one on the east, and that's when everything ended. Siargao. So I was stuck there, and
COVID hits.
Yeah, COVID hits.
You're in an
pandemic
island.
is full on. Everyone's panicking, freaking out, trying to get home. My fiance and I, our plan was to go to Australia and go live and work through the working visa there, and just go tour. I was going to run the comedy tours throughout Australia. That was the whole plan. So we're on our way there, and then everything shut down. Australia closed down, and then we're just kind of there. So we didn't have like a place to go back to. Like we weren't like holding our apartment or anything. We put everything in storage. So we were fortunate in that sense where we were
okay. So 'cause you were planning on going to Australia.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like it wasn't stressing me out that I needed to get home, but
Gotcha.
also there was no way to get home.
Gotcha.
So we were just like, they sent 300 like seats, like in the amount of planes, there's only enough like for 300 people to get on these planes at the beginning of the pandemic, and there were 1,400 tourists on this island.
Jesus Christ.
So it's like no one. We just
It was
couldn't-
one plane.
There was like 4 planes they sent, like, and then different countries sent planes. Like France sent a plane, Germany sent a plane, Canada was like, nah.
Yeah, you guys, we'll send one soon.
You're on
Just
what
chill.
island?
Yeah. Chill. Just hold it up.
Get
Play it
to
out.
a
Play it out. Yeah.
mainland.
He's probably not even gonna get there. Just wait it out.
Yeah, so they locked down, and like it was pretty nerve-wracking at first, but after like a couple months, they started to loosen up because there was no
Couple months.
Yeah,
You're on
2
a fucking island.
Yeah.
Months.
So 2 months in, that's when they
That's-
started to let us do things on the island.
So what did you do for 2 months?
We would just like walk onto the just walk around basically. Like,
Did you have
you
internet
could,
access?
You could like drink at home. Like,
Did you have internet access?
Internet was so bad, man. It was
So you
like-
guys just bonded?
I started making like I would make 1 TikTok a day. That's what I started doing, and
Yeah.
then I was like on Duolingo learning German.
No
And,
way.
Like, yeah, it was just like I don't know, like nothing to do. And then after
Why German?
My fiance is German,
Gotcha. Okay.
half German, half Persian.
Oh shit! Immigrant section.
yo.
Oh shit! You didn't know it's a twist, but
Yeah.
But yeah, that.
And that car, man. That's
Yeah,
fucking
actually,
Persian
German,
dad,
yeah.
man, been crushing
Mercedes-Benz,
it. Yeah. But yeah.
So 2 months, nothing.
2 months, nothing, and then I was on that island for 7 months in total. It's supposed to be 2 weeks.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? How big is the island? Like in Ontario talk?
It's like 100,000 people, or maybe 90,000, and you could drive around it. I think it was in maybe 6 hours. You could drive the full circumference.
Oh, so it's actually a big island.
Yeah, it wasn't like tiny, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was definitely like you're
Gotcha.
very aware.
So it's
that
not
you're
dense at
on-
all.
There was not like a city. You know, like the biggest thing was like just like a town kind of vibe.
So for 7 months, you were on this island.
Yeah.
Comedy on the island?
So I started running shows on the island because I was known as the island comedian because I was doing these.
You were the
TikTok-
only guy.
I started TikTok in the Philippines, so I started getting traction with like people in the Philippines making jokes about Filipino people and just everything I'm experiencing and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they all like wear their shirt over their belly
When it's hot. When it's hot.
It's
Yeah.
like
China,
that.
they do that too.
And you're like, and anywhere else that's like I don't know, it's like a girly thing to do, but they're just like, nah,
the manliest
it's
shit
too hot,
possible.
man. Like.
They're like, you want to arm wrestle, dog? What are you doing here, huh?
Yeah, so just making like jokes and stuff, and so everyone got to know that, and then I started encouraging other people on the island, like, hey, you want to try comedy, like through the Facebook groups, and so I did like some coaching on
Little
how.
do they know you're trying to put together a tour.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking mold these people. You're like,
Yeah.
cut that opener. Just go straight to that other line. It's good. It's a good
Yeah,
bit.
it was more like steering people away from doing like really offensive shit.
But
But
like,
some-
white man, come kill everyone. He's like, okay, guys, settle down. I gave you the microphone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the locals were actually really fun to watch. It's some of the tourists that needed some guidance and stuff, but because there's a lot of tourists still stuck on the island too.
yeah, you're
So
right.
they could do it too. But the audience was great. It was a perfect mix of like locals and then regular people. We had like 100 people out at every show, and I would host and headline.
Once a week?
No, we did 3 of them.
Oh, like in the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like 2 months was like nothing.
Yeah. And then I would just like be writing all the time, trying to come up with like, how do I turn over 45 minutes in front of people?
That's so fucking sick, dude. That's
Yeah.
such an experience, man.
Oh man,
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was very fun and rewarding, and like, we also did some work with this school. It's a Espoir School of Life is what they called it, and it's an NGO that was on the island that was just trying to give education to underprivileged families that couldn't have any access to schools or anything.
Yeah.
So that part was pretty fun too.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's so sick. Like, what was the funniest thing you remember about Filipinos?
The funniest thing,
What do you miss the most?
One thing I appreciate from them is that like because karaoke is so popular, and they'll just be comfortable like singing all over the place. You just be like walking in the grocery store, and the person like filling the aisle, she'll just be like singing and like have like a really nice voice. like a lot of people have like
10,000 hours.
Really nice voices, and there will just be people singing. Now on the counter side of that, sometimes like if a family is having like a celebration for their child, their like 13th birthday or something, they rent a karaoke machine. The way you rent a karaoke machine is for like a 24-hour span, and that thing is on the entire 24 hours. There's no moment where that thing is not playing at full blast for the entire barangay to hear. Like every single
is like the
neighborhood. Like, yeah, it's like, man, it's blowing. Like it's so loud, and like literally from like 11 a.m. through to 2 a.m. like 3 a.m. That
never
thing is
stops
on. Yeah, they
like
love,
getting their money's worth.
They love karaoke. Yeah, that was always fun.
That's so fucking jokes, dude. I wonder how that even started, karaoke. Like, what's the backstory on that?
I don't know, man, but it's always a microphone with an echo effect on it, and then the same songs just kind of playing
Whitney
through.
Houston, or like are they all local?
No, they have a lot of local or like Filipino songs that they would like to play.
But they gotta have Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
Like you heard like U.S. hits,
yeah,
right?
I mean Bob Marley is everywhere, so that too. Like, but not really on the. I don't think on the karaoke, but yeah.
God damn, yo, fuck. I didn't want to go to the Southeast Asia so bad. Vietnam especially. Everywhere I've gone in the world, traveled to, people are like at hostels and stuff. They're like, you go to Vietnam? I'm like, no, they're like, go to Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam's great because you can also rent. Like a lot of people will buy
motorcycles,
they'll
right?
buy a motorcycle or rent one, but usually buy them.
Yeah.
You'll buy it either in Hanoi, which is in the north, or you'll buy it at Ho Chi Minh City, which is in the south, and then you make the trip through the country to the either north or to the south. So everyone's always either traveling from the south to north or north to south in southeast in there, and like you can get a 30 or 60-day visa, and everyone's like, oh, like 30 days will be enough. Just get the 60-day.
Get the 60?
If you can do 2 months there, it's like so worth it.
Fuck yeah,
I did
dude.
30 days, but like easily could have spent longer there.
Everyone, yeah, that's the next place I want to go is Vietnam.
And oh man, good. I love a good banh mi sandwich too. Like those, so good. I get so disappointed when I go to a place in Canada now.
Fucking banh mi, whatever it's
Someone
called.
gave me a banh
boys,
mi. It
bro.
didn't even have like the pickled vegetables on it. I was like, dude, like you don't even know the pickled carrots or anything. And I was like, that's not a banh mi then. Like you're
It's just a bread with chicken. Some chicken strips.
just a baguette, man. What are you doing to me?
But brother, this has been a fucking pleasure, man. Please,
Thanks, buddy.
as always, look into the camera. Tell the
Thanks.
people exactly where to find. Dude, you bowed your head there. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you,
like
Lee.
there's an old
My
Asian man
people.
on the other side of this. Thank you. I hope you enjoy. Yeah, just tell the people where to find you, man.
And Packer on everything. My name's Andrew Packer, so it's and Packer. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram is where I'm most at.
Fuck it.
Twitter, I don't understand.
Don't find the man on Twitter. Just scroll below. All his links will be there. Hit those. Follow my guy. See him out there wherever you get a chance to see him. Please come watch my man live. From my end, support the show at patreon.com/The Immigrant Section. Come out. See us live. Montreal, Ottawa, London. Come out this week. Immigrant Section Comedy Tour. Man, tickets at abbaswahab.com. Thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for coming on, bro.
Thanks
This
for
has been
having
a banger,
me.
man.
This was fun.
Fucking can't wait for the next one, brother.
Hey.
Till next time, peace.